Bonjour tout le monde. Let's conjugate. Let's explore personal pronouns and two of the most used auxiliary verbs, être et avoir, to be and to have. Être, avoir. Alors, écoutez et ensuite répétez. When it comes to personal pronouns, en français, just like in the English language, there are two groups of personal pronouns and 6 levels. The two groups would be the singular group and the plural group. Singular would mean that it's a pronoun only used to identify one entity, one person, one set. And plural group would be the pronouns used to identify several people, things, items, entities at the same time in one word. But for now, we're going to focus on the singular pronouns. So let's look at the 3 levels: the first person, the second person, and the third person. The first person is je. Je as in I. Je, like when you say je vais bien, merci, or je m'appelle Madame D, or je viens de l'Alabama, or j'habite à Los Angeles. Je, which is I, is the personal pronoun, and it is not the same as moi. Moi is me. Je is I. So we use moi like if we want to say me too, for example. Moi aussi. So when I want to conjugate a verb, I will focus on the personal pronoun, je, for I. Then the second person is tu, for you. Not toi, like when we say toi aussi, because that is for you too. Et toi, or et toi aussi. Et toi means and you. Toi aussi, you too. Now, when we're emphasizing on and you, that's when we use the form toi. But if we are just conjugating a verb, we will use the form tu for the second person. And then the third person is still a singular level. And here you have il for he, elle for she, and on for us as one singular group, everybody as one. Like, for example, when you say in English, let's go. Let's go is used in a singular form as though we are saying, let's go to a person. Same way we would say, let's go to many people. So that invariable, unchangeable form en français is considered a singular form. So for the singular pronouns, we have 3 of them. Je, which is I, tu, which is you, il, elle, et on, which is he, she, and us, everyone, us, one unit. Does that make sense? All right. Good job listening. Now let's see how we are going to use the pronouns je, tu, il, elle, et on with the verbs être et avoir. I am sure that although you may look at it and feel a little intimidated, you do recognize that some of what you see here is familiar because we have been using them in some of our expressions. So first, let's look at the verb être. Être veut dire to be. When we are conjugating être, we see that at the first person, je, être changes completely. The letters E, T, R, E disappear and become S-U-I-S, suis. So when we're conjugating être, qui veut dire to be, we say je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. Those are the three singular persons for the verb être. Je suis, and I'm pointing to myself. Tu es, I'm pointing at someone facing me. Il est, I'm pointing to the right. Elle est, I'm pointing to the left. Et on est, I am circling my hands around me to show that I am talking about a group of people that forms one unit. D'accord? So, when we want to conjugate être, qui veut dire to be, we say je suis for I am, tu es for you are, il est for he is, elle est for she is, and on est for everyone is. Notice that I have been making liaisons. Liaison means I've been connecting the vowel E at the end of je, for example, or the vowel U at the end of tu with the vowel E of e. Or I've been connecting the consonants L at the end of il to e. And this is how I'm sounding. Rather than saying tu es, I say tu es. Listen to the difference. Tu es and tu es sounds like one word when they have been connected, when there's been a liaison between them. How about il est versus il est? That's when I connect them. Elle est versus elle est. Again, it's been connected. On est versus on est, where it's been connected. So remember, when we conjugate être, qui veut dire to be, we say je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. So let's try to use these three forms with a few of the adjectives we have recently learned. Let's try with heureux, for example. Well, I will say, je suis heureuse, because I am a girl, but if I were a boy, I would have said, je suis heureux. So, je suis heureuse. Tu es heureux. And I did not say heureuse anymore because I decided that I'm talking to a boy. But if I had said tu es heureux to a girl, I would have had to also say tu es heureuse. And then for the third person, for a boy, we'll say il est heureux. For a girl, elle est heureuse. And for a unity, a group, we would say on est heureux. Does that make sense? Je suis heureuse, tu es heureux, il est heureux, elle est heureuse, on est heureux. Ok, très très bien. Now, let's look at the other verb right near it, avoir. Avoir, qui veut dire to have. The first form of avoir is very familiar because we have used it when we address our age. We have been saying j'ai 6 ans, j'ai 7 ans, j'ai 8 ans. Correct? So this is exactly what we're doing here. We are going to be using the form j'ai to express I have. Now notice how the e of je disappeared and got replaced by an apostrophe. I believe I've shared with you in the past that en français, there is a rule where one word ending with a vowel, like je for example, if it's followed by another word that starts with a vowel, well, the first word would have to lose its vowel and the vowel would get replaced by an apostrophe. And that is simply made to help us pronounce things simply and a little faster without having to sound too awkward. So, for example, here for avoir, if you conjugate the first 3 persons, you will have j'ai. J'ai. For the second person, it is tu as. And just like with tu es, we do not pronounce the last consonant, the S. It's just tu as. And then for the third person, we have il, elle, on, na. And so here, for example, if we're talking about a male character, we will then say il, ila. If we're addressing a female, then we will say ella. And if finally we're talking about a group of people who are close and are together, we can say on a. Does that make sense? So let's quickly conjugate to have. Avoir. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a. Super. Encore une fois. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a. Now, let's, for example, use the expression to say our age. Let's say that we want to say we are 7 years old. Well, if it is je who is speaking, then I will say j'ai 7 ans. Does that make sense? J'ai 7 ans. And if I'm saying that to someone else about them, then I will say tu as 7 ans. And again, notice here I do not pronounce the S. Tu as 7 ans. And lastly, we will say il a 7 ans. Elle a 7 ans. On a 7 ans. Il a 7 ans. Elle a 7 ans. On a 7 ans. On as a group, an entity, one unit. All right, so let's review this very quickly. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. J'ai, tu as, il est, elle a, on a. Let me repeat that. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a. All right. Try to work on just repeating these 3 persons. Repeat the personal pronouns and repeat the conjugated form for these 3 persons. The first person, the second person, and the third person. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, on a. Et voilà, c'est fini. Bon travail, mes élèves. Très bon travail. Great job listening, paying attention, trying in your mind, and trying out loud. Please study the first 3 pronouns, the singular form only, and the conjugated verbs. And make sure that you use the gestures we used in class, pointing at yourself and others as we did together. Practice these today for 10 minutes and make sentences with each pronoun and form. I encourage you to create sentences just like we did in class with some of the adjectives about feelings that we learned. So for example, if you're working on the verb être, you may say je suis heureux, tu es contente, il est fâché, elle est triste, on est fatigué. That's, for example, one way you can make sentences with the pronouns and the verb, the conjugated form of a verb, and then you can add an adjective to that. D'accord? So I greatly encourage you to practice for 10 minutes today and work on making those simple sentences as we learned in class. Hey, remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Only practice can make you perfect. I know you can do it. Au revoir. À bientôt et bon travail mes élèves.